Hello again, my name is Gabe Zolan. I'm going to attach an interesting article, drugabuse.com. The 9 most expensive drugs in America. What do you think is number 1? Huh? Take a guess. Well, each year Americans spend nearly $100 billion on illegal drugs such as cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamines. These figures do not even account for the billions of drugs that are spent on prescription drugs each year. About $374 billion according to IMS Institute for Healthcare Informatics, or the amount spent on legal drugs such as tobacco and alcohol. While Americans spend large sums of cash each year on drugs, the costs go beyond just dollars spent. The price of drugs also includes the harmful effects that they have on individual health and society as a whole when faced with funding law enforcement and the court system. All of these costs and more contribute to the financial impact of drugs on Americans. Here are the 9 most expensive drugs in America. Number 1, tobacco. Tobacco is by far the most expensive drug in the United States. The National Institute on Drug Abuse has found that tobacco costs Americans roughly $295 billion each year, and $130 billion alone in healthcare costs. 2, alcohol. Alcohol is the second costliest drug in the United States. It's one of the few drugs that are legal and easily available. You know why? Because most of the cost of your alcohol is tax. No different than marijuana. Legalized marijuana, tax, revenue. That's all they care about. 3, painkillers. According to Substance Abuse, the Mental Health Service Administration, more than 4.3 million Americans use prescription opiate painkillers. 4, cocaine. Cocaine has a reputation as a rich man's drug. At approximately $60 per gram, it is one of the most expensive party drugs, yet 1.5 million Americans are regular users. Each year, spend a shocking $37 billion on cocaine, as reported by the Office of National Drug Control Policy. Marijuana, number 5. Marijuana is legal in some states, but the debate of whether it is medicine or a drug remains controversial. As we know with alcohol, a legal drug does not necessarily mean a safe drug. Americans spend between $30 and $60 billion on marijuana each year. Heroin. Heroin has a reputation as a cheap drug. And a shocking truth is that many prescription drug users switch to heroin to save money. Purchasing a dose of heroin usually costs between $10 and $25. While initially cheap, heroin can seriously be addictive and costs add up fast. Most heroin addicts spend about $150 each day to fuel their addiction. Heroin also costs Americans over $22 billion per year in healthcare, law enforcement, and automobile accidents. Number 7, methamphetamines. Meth users spend $17 billion per year in the United States on the drug alone. 8, benzodiazepines, also known as benzos, are a hugely profitable group of prescription drugs. In 1 year, Medicare alone spent $377 million on prescriptions for benzodiazepines. These drugs create similar effects to alcohol. 9, synthetic drugs. Synthetic drugs are a new group of man-made drugs that include spice, K2, and bath salts. Scarily enough, these drugs can be easily purchased at gas stations and convenience stores. Their labels often say not for human consumption, which allows them to get around the Food and Drug Administration regulations. The number of emergency room hospitalizations for synthetic drugs varies from several hundred to over 1,000 every month. While the exact cost of synthetic drugs are not known, since they're relatively new, they clearly pose a significant risk to people's health. I'll attach the link. You take a look at it. The truth is that the government allows these kinds of activities to take place. Why? Money. Tax. Absolutely insane. Billions of dollars are spent on people that are addicted. And they're addicted because our government allows it to take place. That's sort of what I think. Take a look at it and let me know what you think. Thanks for listening.